Hello, and welcome to Burnt Cookbook Party, an original Pathfinder campaign set in a unique fantasy world where 4 heroes of varying skills, attractiveness, and stupidity race against time to prevent a war. I'm Jenna Stoeber, and I play Astra, a fey-addled half-elf oracle who is exactly who she says she is. And I'm joined by...
Andrew Hansen, playing Johnny Anaj, a sarcastic, scheming, smoldering Ifrit, delighted by secrets and destruction.
Blech. An unpleasant surprise every time. I'm Caitlin Stayduhar, playing Patty Hertz, a ratfolk ranger dandy with a nose for gossip and cheese.
And I'm Paul Luetkemeyer, playing Zelf, an elven battle chef carving a name for himself in the high-stakes world of magical cooking.
And we're, of course, led today and for the rest of our time by our illustrious and fluffy GM and world builder, Justin Green. Justin, how are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling litigious for the trial today, part 2.
Is that why you're extra fluffed up today?
Yeah, extra fluffy.
Like when a chicken is all floof.
Yeah, like when a simple country chicken lawyer is all floofed.
I'll do declare.
I say.
Perfect. I think having a bigger physical presence will make you more intimidating in the courtroom, which I think is going to add a lot to the proceedings, Justin.
Oh, yeah.
I should have had like a foghorn leghorn type of character.
There will be a chance.
It's not too late, yeah, right.
There will be a chance for someone to play a foghorn leghorn type character.
Has that just been Wild Blanc?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
You know, I've been biding my time to play a gay little country chicken detective in this. Justin, it's not too late to give B a really overwrought accent if you want.
It'll just happen gradually.
Gaslight the listeners that it's always been like that, yeah.
But accents are best when they're fluid like that.
The next stage of this trial begins, and B stands and says, "The prosecution calls Bly Bloom." And the courtroom doors open, and Bly enters wearing her most professional cravat. It trails behind her. She looks nervous as she takes the stand.
I mean, I'm sure Bly's going to have some bad things to say about Astra.
No.
As Bly gets comfortable, B will address the courtroom. "The magic used by the headwaters to call forth witnesses from the zeitgeist will also allow them to access their memories of multiple time loops. It in no way alters those memories, and thus we can trust that the testimonies heard here are true to the witness's own recollections.
We'll see about that.
However, this is a temporary effect, and once they have been returned to the current instance of Irisol, they will have no memory of this trial or their past lives." I'm not going to go back and forth asking questions as one NPC and then answering them. I'm going to have Bly give a little monologue, essentially, of what she says in response to questions she's being asked from B. Bly says that, "I met Astra a couple years ago in Fainalin. She started volunteering backstage at the Theater of the Mundane, and we hit it off right away. I never made a connection like that right off the bat, but I guess it's true what they say that the flame of passion that burns the brightest fades the fastest. And she dropped off the face of Irisol, really. I didn't hear from her again until 2 days ago. We were opening a second theater in Neptis, but I guess not anymore. Astra randomly walked in asking for the theater to support some chef for the Great Milnor Bake-Off. I didn't really understand why. I was so mad at how normal she was acting like that was. I'm still not entirely sure what was going on, but I guess it had something to do with Bashad coming. She really was a hero. I had my doubt about the rumors of her heroism that had went around Fainalin, but I saw her in Neptis with my own eyes trying to evacuate people."
Oh.
And you can tell from B's line of questioning that the point she's trying to make is twofold, that Astra Blep is unreliable and that Astra actively undermined Bashad's attack on Neptis and was helping people.
Well, you got me.
She'll submit the Theater of the Mundane support contract as evidence, and she's going to make another barrister roll here.
Damn.
Damn.
She rolled a 35 this time.
Oof.
Woof.
She's lawyering,
damn.
guys. She's lawyering.
You guys have an opportunity to cross-examine B, and at this point, we can't actually role-play a cross-examination if you'd like. I will ask you again to pick a skill that kind of represents how you're trying to counter her testimony.
Ooh, this is a hard one. If you put Astra up there, I will make this all about how I didn't ditch her. I died.
Would that be a bluff check?
No, I died, Paul. It's not a bluff. That's what really happened.
Oh, then what skill would you be rolling?
Diplomacy? Persuasion? I don't know. I don't think that would get us closer towards any of our goals. But also, are we really going to beat a 35, you know?
I feel like it's not pass-fail. I feel like there are degrees of success.
Yeah. This is difficult, though, because everything that Bly has said is extremely correct and true. And I'm like, how do I undermine that?
God, okay.
My pitch would be that this is truly Astra using her hidden domain of slavery by knowing exactly what to say to use people.
Oh, unbelievable.
That is a strong angle, Paul.
And also the unreliability is like the capricious nature of the ocean.
God, I needed all y'all in court with me back in the day. This is great.
I would be using, my highest skill is probably appraise. I don't know how I could leverage that for that case. But maybe appraising the evidence. And I would be gunning for glory hand. So that's my pitch for self.
It's pretty good.
The other argument we could make is that, we didn't defeat... You're right, Astra was just too good a person. It's such a struggle.
I don't want to deprive Astra of a chance to cross-examine Bly, though. Really, that's my highest priority.
I think Zelf's angle is strong. I think also it's a good matchup for the people with high intelligence. I think Glorhan will be on your side for that. And you are a caster, even though you don't cast in a traditional sense. But I think it'll work.
That's true.
No, I think that's very good.
Caitlin, how does a cross-examination work?
You would ask questions or use evidence to undermine what the witness has said, to challenge the conclusions they have drawn and the statements that they have made.
You've got to make her look unreliable, which is unfortunate because Bly is lovely and a victim.
Exactly.
Okay, Zelf will take the box. And Justin, I want to use appraise, so he's going to be gazing long at this piece of evidence, and he'll take his time tapping his investigator pipe against the top of his podium. Mm-hmm. And he'll eventually lead toward the jury and say, Bly Bloom, have you ever noticed a difference between what Astra said and what Astra did?
Definitely, that's pretty much everything that she says.
Wow, come on.
And does.
Come on, whatever.
Can you tell me of a time when she seemed like she might not have been as good a person as she initially let on?
We were getting pretty serious, the two of us, and then she just ghosted me. She stopped responding. She was helping us with the show for the Theater of the Mundane, and then she just dropped out. A lot of people put a lot of work into it, and at the last minute she bailed, and we missed 2 performances.
So when she wanted something, she seemed like a good person, but that didn't last, did it?
I definitely felt that way for a long time, but I was starting to rethink things in Neptus.
Oh, so as soon as she needed something from you again, she returned to your life, and she put on a pretty good face, didn't she?
Yeah, I guess she did need something from me.
And where did that lead you?
The same place that I was before, waiting alone for her.
Ow, I died. Patty, I died.
That's right. In the dark, in the cold, in the depths, in the abyss, I think there's an M.O. Bly Bloom, the bleeding heart. Open heart wears her heart on her sleeve. Bly, if you could set aside any hope you had for some kind of connection with Astra, would you say that she's a good person or a bad person?
I genuinely don't know.
And she'll keep you there, right there, as long as she needs to.
Dang.
Ladies and gentlemen, beasts, demigods, creatures, friends and enemies of the jury, I know none of you would be foolish enough to think that Astra is exactly who she says she is.
Wait, where have I heard that before? Has she ever said that? I don't...
The greatest evil is that which is not always obvious. And that is Climate Astra Blep.
Wow. I'm not going to survive this emotionally.
Wow. That's awful. Wow.
She leans over as Zelf sits down and thumbs up and is like, great lie, Zelf.
You want to make your roll, Paul?
Yeah. With inspiration, that's a 25.
Beautiful.
It's a good roll.
Zelf and B both ended up being 5 above their DC. I think I'm going to be nice and give the tie to you guys. And if you guys would like to roll to get another piece of information, you can.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes,
Good.
please.
Yeah, should we go for Sheep Lich or Bashad?
I want to do sheep lich really bad. But that's just for my own entertainment.
This is important, guys. I know we all want to learn more about the sheep lich, but we've got to focus.
That's right. This is a job interview. A life or death job interview.
The ones we know nothing about are Ansel, Abraham, and Winhorn.
I think we should go for Ansel.
Yeah.
So who wants to do a roll on this? This is when we get +4 too if we're doing Ansel. So
I'll do that one.
Okay.
I'll do that one. Patty is frantically taking notes.
Oh, come on. Caitlin, you've been saying it.
28. I am
God
rolling
damn.
tonight.
You're looking at 4 choices again.
Beautiful. All right,
Crazy.
gang. Do we want both strength and weakness since it's so much narrative and then maybe a couple of the DCs?
yeah.
Knowing the skill and knowing whether we're potentially going to affect somebody else's good affinity does seem pretty important, yeah.
Maybe 20 strength and weakness and bias 4?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So craft any, disguise,
Mm.
profession any.
Okay.
Interesting.
Profession poet.
Cool.
He's biased towards artists and creatives.
Of course.
Okay.
I am living right now.
While empowered by his demigod abilities, Ansel has no patience for those who would have previously used him. Anyone who attempts an intimidate check to influence him takes a -4 penalty.
Okay.
Nice.
No bullying. No bullying anyone.
He's anti-bullying. Ansel views the role of demigod of Ebnir as a psychopomp whose job it is to lead others to their natural death and write elegies for them as it happens.
Oh my
He
god.
is swayed by a sob story and a commitment to using magic as art. He has no alignment preferences, but he does prefer a candidate who will represent the domains of magic or death.
Damn. Everybody wants this magic shit. Well, we have pinpointed all the magic users, so that's fair.
That's true. Does the sheeplish care about magic use? Or does he just want death, and more death?
He cares about fields. Okay, well, that's great news. Okay.
The next person that the prosecution is calling in is Halibut Jones.
Who's that?
What?
Halibut Jones.
Yeah, what did you do to Halibut Jones?
I don't even know the guy.
The doors of the courtroom open, and Astra, you see the Gilman editor that you accosted while breaking into the Scry network enter.
Boy, quick turnaround on that one.
We didn't even know his name, and now here he is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we learned his name and that his name is Halibut Jones.
God.
I'm crying.
He takes a seat in the stand and goes, "Hey, you can just call me Hal.
Oh.
I work as an editor for the Scry network, and my job is to place the bubbles into the Scry pools in a way that best portrays a narrative. And recently I'd been working overtime on courting a criminal, Patty Hertz's dating show. And we were having to turn them around quickly. The team was pulling a lot of all-nighters. That was when I ran into Astra in the editing bay. I don't know how she snuck in or why, but she was destroying all of the show's archival bubbles, and not just courting a criminal, a bunch of different shows, like just at random. And I recognized her from the show, so I knew not to engage with her. I think that's why she let me live." You can tell the B's line of questioning of Hal is trying to highlight 3 particular points to the jury. One, that Astra let a Gilman live. You guys would know that Bashad hates the Gilman.
Yeah.
Well,
Astra is working closely with Patty Hertz, the demigod of chaos, and that Astra was aiding Patty Hertz in breaking her Scry network contract.
Oh.
Okay. No, I've got this.
I will roll here.
Damn.
A 33.
Another great roll.
Wow.
No, I've got an argument for this.
Astra has chosen to speak on her own behalf.
Yeah. I'm not going to let the skill men get away with this. So Astra will stroll up, hands behind her back. Mr. Jones, I didn't catch your name the first time. I couldn't be bothered. But I'm so glad you're here now to really talk through what happened here. It's true, I destroyed quite a many archives. Do you remember what I said to you? Why I was destroying those archives?
I don't. I was so tired.
Oh, of course, you're so tired. You know, it's such a hard job putting orbs places. Yeah, I get it. What I said to you, which you can't be bothered to remember even though you're here in court. What I said to you was, we're here because we were being blackmailed. What is blackmail? I ask you, Jones, don't answer. I'll tell you what it is. Blackmail is illegal. So what we were doing there was fighting an illegal behavior on behalf of ourselves against the Scry Network. The Scry Network was acting illegally. By righting that wrong, I was there as a representative for the law.
Ooh.
To put in order
Very nice.
what had been wrong. I was not aiding Patty Hertz in breaking her contract. I was preventing the Scry Network from breaking theirs.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What skill should I be rolling? Maybe diplomacy? All right, I rolled a 17
nice.
for a 28, plus 2 from heroism, so I think that's a 30 total.
So
Nice,
you are 10
nice.
above your DC. You beat B, who was 3 above hers. So you guys can
Boom.
take another piece of information.
Gorgeous.
God, do we want to do Abraham?
That guy's a blank.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we know so little and can't even guess. Right?
No.
So,
Okay. I guess one of you should roll it since I was doing the arguments.
yeah, I want to get an Ashen hero, but you don't have very much sense motive, right?
No.
He has a -1 to it.
You'll have his uses later, but rolling sense motive is not one of them.
He's watching sinisterly.
Yeah, just standing in the back of the courtroom with his arms crossed.
He just sort of cracks his knuckles and he says, just point me at the chump to break and I'll break him.
Oh no.
That is sinister. Justin, that's a 20.
So that's 2 pieces of information, Paul.
2. Okay. I feel like we should get at least one of the skill zones.
Yeah.
Do you feel better about the 15, the 20, or the 25? 20 gets us a lot,
20
and
gets us a lot.
we've got decent chances of hitting those so far.
I think we should get the 20, and then I don't know. I think either strengths or bias is 4. That's my vote.
Okay. Then I'll do strength and DC 20, Justin.
Good. You'll understand what's happening with his DC 20s now.
Great.
So Abraham can see through any ability or spell that would normally modify or hide a person's alignment. His
Ooh.
influence checks alternate depending on what was used last. So they're in groups.
Oh.
So if you used craft,
Oh.
that no longer is a DC for him. You'll have to disable. If you use bluff, next time you'd have to sense motive. If you use perception, next time you'd have to stealth.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's
I love that.
Interesting.
Fucking funny. Okay.
Very interesting.
That was a good round. This is another good round, gang.
The prosecution calls Zalvit. Zalvit is the doughy gnome who is at the head of the New Haven Thieves Guild. And he makes his way in,
He was on the train.
takes a seat. And Zalvit says, I had the misfortune of meeting Astra Bleppin. What do we call it? A past life. She ended my life. She mind-controlled the Thieves Guild against me, but dealt the killing blow herself.
Mind controlled.
See, first she was a prisoner of the Thieves Guild a month earlier, and she had scared my guild shitless with her little sword tricks. But I thought I saw a kindred spirit, another someone with a mind for business, and so we made a deal. I'd set her free, and she'd bring me the heads of those 2 girls the Winter Guard were hunting. At this point, B will submit the Winter Guard wanted notice as evidence and draw attention to the fact that Glorahan Farrell is one of the 2 wanted individuals.
Oh.
But I don't think she ever had any intention of holding up her end of the bargain. As soon as she was out of sight, she skipped town.
Whoa.
Played a similar game with a few guild members in Mielnor. The Tooth Fairies promised to hand them over a vigilante that was causing a lot of problems, but that didn't happen neither. And B's line of questioning draws attention to the fact that Astra broke 2 more contracts, but also specifically, she points out that Astra did not kill Glorahan. And B says this is in direct opposition to Glorahan's divine purpose.
What?
To die?
Her to die. She dies in every loop.
Jeez.
I mean, it's worth pointing out that Astra also didn't heal Glorhan, famously.
That's very
That's
true.
That's a great defense.
Yeah, actually.
Man, B is so clutch. She's really good at this.
He's a
Mhm.
professional.
Her DC is 30, though, so she's barely making it.
Yeah,
Oh.
but she is making it with a DC 30.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's taking this one?
I could potentially take this one.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, Zalvit. Yeah, you really have to wonder, as I do often, whether a contract was broken just because it wasn't fulfilled. There was no time limit on our contract, is that right? Was there a time I needed to fulfill it by? You tell me, Zalvit.
No, I don't believe we had a time set up.
No, there certainly wasn't a time. And you'll happen to notice you weren't there for this, so you're talking out of turn a little bit, but that's fine. I'll tell you what happened. In that loop, Glorhan did die. And do you know why she died, Zalvit? You don't. Don't answer the question. She died because I didn't heal her. Okay? I'm the healer of our party. Johnny's a healer too, but he ain't here right now. As the main healer of our party, it was my responsibility to kill her, but I knew there was a warrant out for her arrest, and that saving her life would do no good when she dies in every time loop. So you say I didn't kill her, but what is inaction but a decision to do nothing? As I have done here with Glorhan, allowing her to fulfill her ultimate destiny, which is to die in that loop. And as for the other wanted person, well, you know, we never really got a chance to even fulfill that contract, wouldn't you say? The time looped, thus negating any contract that was created. And what is respecting the letter of the law if not acknowledging when a contract has been unmade? There's no need, and in fact, you would be a sloppy proponent of the law if you insisted on respecting contracts that have been unmade. That certainly makes no sense at all.
Dang.
Yeah? Yeah? Therefore, I broke no contract. Roll for this one.
Since you're going with the time loop angle, maybe spellcraft for Mistborn?
Ooh, you know, spellcraft's a good bet. Yeah, I like that. I'll go with that.
And she's also swayed by lateral thinking. So if your argument is that contracts don't matter with the time loop, that feels pretty lateral to me.
Yeah?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, I'll roll it. I got a 21 on my spellcraft check with a +2 for the meat, the heart, the heroism heart. That's a 23.
All right. You tied again, so I am going to give it to you guys again if you would like to roll for a piece of information.
Count it.
Oh my God, I think we do.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think we've been really good and we deserve a treat, and I think we should clear off more of the sheep lich.
I agree. We've been really responsible. We've been doing the useful ones.
Yeah, we did all our chores. We cleaned up our room.
We ate our vegetables.
We get to play with the sheep lich now.
Yay!
Mhm.
That is 4, Paul.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Should we just get his biases for and against and his strengths and weaknesses? I really want to know.
Yeah, we're treating ourselves at this one. So Justin, bias for and against and strength and weakness.
Yay!
The bias for lawful and evil individuals, +2 if it's just one, +4 if both.
Damn.
Bias against chaotic good, -2 for one, -4 for both. As a simple-minded, corrupted animal, the sheep lich requires a truly lawful evil creature like itself, and it will accept no substitutes. It is by far the hardest jurist to sway from its convictions, bordering on impossible. All DCs to influence it are 3 points higher for chaotic or good individuals. DCs are 6 points higher if both are true.
Oh my God.
The sheep lich values one thing, an unerring devotion to Ebnir. It requires a candidate who is lawful evil and prefers one who will represent the domains of evil law, slavery, or death undead.
Ooh, a tough nut to crack. The
Yeah.
sheep lich.
Truly. But I think the vampire stuff will be a good angle with the sheep lich.
I was also a horrible undead creature.
Yeah, and it was great, and I loved it, and I want to get back there. Well, the sheep lich might be a good angle for Johnny.
I've also got handle animal if we want a wild card.
Yes!
He is a simple-minded creature.
I feel so confident that one of them is handle animal. The question is it 20 or 25?
I know which one.
Well, we'll just have to keep doing good.
The prosecution calls Bovel Flask Forge.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
As he enters, he's looking shockingly healthy and coherent, having been removed from Hibdal's influence. This is the most alive that you've seen this man. He is sober. He is standing upright. His eyes aren't cloudy. He takes a seat in the stand and he begins his testimony. He says, Astra Blep was on my shadowing squad last loop. She wasn't one of my original picks. I was going to go with this elderly teenager, Haku Yakan. But somebody changed my picks last minute. I didn't catch it, what with my memory getting reset all the time and the radiation poisoning and the divine insanity. But, honestly, now that I have the whole picture, I'm not mad about it. I pick new cadets every loop with the singular goal of being as chaotic as possible.
Oh.
And Astra was a decent choice. She didn't follow a single order at any point, but I found her to be surprisingly empathetic when all was said and done.
Oh.
She really took her time out, talked to me about my family issues, and, I could tell she was looking out for me. This loop, our paths didn't cross, but my friend Giha reached out to me. A similar thing happened to one of Astra's fellow cadets from the last loop, Zelf, that happened to Haku. He got written out. But yeah, my memory problems, like I said, I didn't know who Astra or Zelf or Haku were at that point, so I was pretty unbothered, to be honest. But yeah.
Strange.
So we will submit Bovel's journal as evidence here.
Nice.
She is going to be focusing on the chaotic elements of Astra's actions at Shadowwind, the chaotic elements of her even being chosen. And while she doesn't directly comment on any of the journal tampering at this point, it is clear that she wants it out in the open to perhaps come back to.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the journal tampering could be spun in our favor.
Oh?
I mean, how awful and evil is it to erase someone's name from the journal?
And if Bothell was choosing randomly and Astra contravened that, then that would be going against chaos with law.
That is an excellent point.
I love that. Okay.
Is it going against chaos with law, or is it chaos means chaos?
Two wrongs make a right.
Yeah, the opposite of chaos is structure, Justin. I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to roll for B.
Caitlin convinced me because she's a good lawyer, so.
Patty will place her glasses back on and she'll say, Mr. Bovel, isn't it true that you're a drunk and a crazy person?
Damn! Attacking his character. There it is.
Isn't it true that time after time when students at Shadowwind sought your counsel, your structure to help with their tasks to follow the school rules, you were just drunk as a skunk, yelling about comets and meteors and Hibdal and certainly doesn't sound like a reliable guy to me. I don't know that I should believe any word that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, I think this is a good angle for this man.
What are you going to roll?
Ooh, what am I going to roll?
I don't know if that sounded like Profession Sailor, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
No. Probably
No.
not.
So my perform acting is actually quite high. I think that might be appropriate for delivering a monologue, impugning the character of a witness.
Play the lawyer.
I like that.
You studied for the role.
I would take decent odds that that's Ansel's DC 15, actually.
He's a performative guy. So.
Yeah.
Okay, it's only a 23 this time.
Can you use a magic item to bump that? You could surge.
I could surge. I forgot I was a freaking demigod.
Yeah, flex that you're a demigod.
Patty's not going to flub a monologue. I mean, come on.
Great.
Absolutely not. It's a 5.
Ooh, beautiful.
28. Not bad.
Perfect.
As you do this and you summon this magic of Hibdal, this divine performance that you put on, even though you are slandering him, Bavel has never looked prouder of you, Patty.
Yes.
He's like a father smiling
Aw.
at you doing
Oh, Lord.
Oh, look at her. She's discrediting me. Wow.
She's being so chaotic right now.
Yeah, exactly.
What a good little demigod she's become.
this. Bavel gets off of the stand. He kind of just whispers to you like, this is exactly what I hoped for when I chose you.
Oh.
You did score high enough to get one more item.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we need to do a Bishad. We got nothing on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bishad or Windhorn has got to be where we clear off next.
Yeah, I think I've still got the highest sense motive if you know me rolling these.
No, go for it.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
Not
not
my
the
finest
best.
roll.
Not
Yeah.
the best.
Well, with my inspiration, Justin, that's a total of 19.
That is one, unfortunately.
let's just get the 20 off Bishad,
Yeah,
and then we can focus our next big roll on Windhorn.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is geography,
Hmm.
survival, swim.
Swim, Astra's nemesis. Oh, no. I mean, it makes sense, but...
Justin, if
Yeah.
we make a skill check for one that applies to multiple jurors, does that apply to both?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Patty
That
made a
double
banging survival check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good intel. Let's take a break from this brutal and totally unwarranted attack on Astra's character to talk about our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/bcbparty. It's only $5 a month. It's been $5 a month since we launched this podcast a few years ago, and we intend to keep it at just $5 a month. And that's a great value considering you get access to the Discord, the easy listening comfort of ad-free episodes, plus bonus audio in the form of character questions that get posted straight to the feed on weeks when there are no episode drops. Plus, we're always posting bonus content like game maps or background information on how games were made. And in fact, right now, the Patreon has an incredible image that Justin made of the jury, complete with pretty intimidating art and all of the information we've discovered about them so far. It's a very handy guide to have while you're listening to this episode. It'll really help you follow along with all of the DC checks we've crossed off and all of the really important sheep lich lore that we've uncovered. And you can find that right now at patreon.com/bcbparty.
The prosecution calls Cassian Griffale.
Oh,
my
God.
God. We've got to get Inaj on the stand.
I was just going to say, this is his moment. This is his moment.
Cassian in his glittering golden javelin armor glides through the courtroom. You can tell he is on guard, being on the plane of Ebnir, holding a hand at his sword, just ready and waiting for things to go poorly. But as soon as he sits down in the stand, he is his typical pompous self, and he's like, where do I even start with Astra Blep? Despite what Bavel Flaskforge may have told you, her behavior at Shadowwind was abysmal. I had taken a particular interest in her due to the lack of information available from the beginning. As she was the only cadet with a background in printing, I was certain she was responsible for spreading fake maps around Arrow Peak, including planting one on myself. And B will submit one of the fake Arrow Peak maps as evidence.
Yes.
Schoolgirl shenanigans. Don't worry about it.
She and Patty Hertz had made it their primary goal to corrupt the noble paladin Johnny Brightchild. They broke into the court of the Archmage in Fainalin and let him take the fall. However, I'll admit it wasn't without reason. Their squad was working to expose High Mage Windhorn for his heinous deeds as a follower of Ebnir. I worked with him to foil his attempts to reignite the Phenolin ley line through ritual sacrifice, and I stayed behind to protect the innocent as Windhorn enacted martial law in the city. That was when I met Astra's young cousin, Small, and I shielded him from Windhorn's torture, and in turn he trusted me with the truth of what he endured in the Whispering Woods. You see, speaking it out loud is quite dangerous, but Small made a sacrifice to warn me of a greater evil. And I warn you now, to give Astra Blut more power is to feed a parasite that will eventually consume all of us. That's all I can say on this matter without participating in the act myself.
Wow, is this guy on our side or what?
Right? Seriously.
But B is definitely focusing this questioning on two things. One, that once again Astra Blep took down followers of Ebnir. And also, she is drawing a portrait of somebody who is pulled in two directions, who is serving two masters. And where would Astra's allegiances lie?
I mean...
Ooh, but I rolled bad.
Nice. Oh,
She did a poor job of it.
okay, great. Good.
Yeah, casting was just too bitchy.
Oh, man. Okay. I mean, she whiffed, so if we just want to fuck with Castian...
Well, I mean, it's still our chance to get ahead influencing the jury.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But maybe this is time for Johnny and Aj to make a ride check, and he just showboats the entire time.
Castian is horrified.
That would be really fucking funny.
I do really want to include Johnny and Aj because I know that it's just going to make Castian squirm.
Yeah, in one way or another.
It's tricky with his skill set, but maybe we could pump him up with his highest skill and have him roll Intimidate, and then just try later to bring Ansel back if we're bothered with him.
Yeah.
And not just Intimidate, is bananas.
It is. It is bananas. We have an angle on Castian. He's a pretty good barometer of what's good and what's evil.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I can take this if y'all want. Y'all want.
I think it's time for Johnny to roll over this idiot.
Fine beings and existences of this extra-dimensional court of evil. What we finally have here is an expert witness on what is good and what is evil. And now, Mr. Castian, what would you say I am?
Oh.
In your professional opinion, would you call me evil?
Castian looks at you, and you can tell that he is using his innate ability as a paladin to read your alignment.
Paladins don't have that. Sorry.
Because this man is, without a doubt, evil. True evil.
Thank you. Thank you for proving my bona fides. I really appreciate that, Castian. It's good for you to have a use. And
savage.
would you say that even though Astra is not technically evil by your moral compass, the god power of Gavilan, that she has the ability to bring evil to this world? Isn't that something that you were concerned about, and why she would hang out with the very moldable and influenceable Johnny Brightchild?
Certainly.
This is what I would present to all of you is one of Astra's truest strengths, is that she seeks power, and that she, in this instance, has won it. And that's why she's on trial and none of you are. And all of you know the simple math of that. She's won this gambit. And all you have to do now is to bend the knee and see what red little apples and gifts she'll bestow upon you when she's feeling generous.
Oh,
Damn.
The game's already been won, and all that you're fighting after now are scraps. Thank you.
savage. I love
Damn,
it.
Andrew. Oh my God.
Intimidate check.
Wow.
I got a 37.
Come on.
Jesus.
I get a +2 when demoralizing opponents.
Surge.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's roll Surge.
Everyone on the jury shits their pants.
Damn.
As an expert witness on evil and trickery and stuff like that, Zitrix offers its say in the matter. So total of 41.
Oh my God.
Almighty.
Damn.
Get these demigods out of here.
Objection! Demigod on the stand.
For the first time, you guys have rolled well enough during the cross-examination that you can get all three of you that are not Inaj can roll to try and get a piece of information.
Yes, fabulous.
Nice. Got him on the back foot. The background music is changing. It's great.
And as you are speaking, Inaj, and you are wrapping up your cross-examination, you see that the demigod Glorahan comes into focus for just 1 second to meet your gaze. And a lot is said without speaking. She is impressed, but she is looking, of course, as always, for a competition, for a fight with you.
Yeah.
She wants to outdo you.
I rolled so poorly. I've got a 7.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Got a 28.
Woof. So,
Who were you guys targeting?
We said Windhorn next time we get a chance, right?
Yeah, we should get
Yeah.
some Windhorn.
Neven? Abraham Neven?
Yeah, let's get a little Neven.
Cool. So Patty will get 1 piece of information and Zelf will get 3 pieces.
Okay. Do we want a bias for or a bias against? I feel like that would be a good one.
I think bias 4.
Bias for? Okay, let's do that.
Anybody who has neutral in their alignment, +2. If they're true neutral, a +4.
Oh,
Okay, good to know.
that's Self. I'm thinking DC 20 and then strengths and weaknesses. How do you guys feel?
Sounds good.
I like it.
Okay, let's do that, Justin.
Disguise, religion, stealth. Windhorn can see through disguises quickly, and any attempts to fool him this way, either magically or mundane, take a -4 penalty. That's specifically if you were, say, actively dressing up in court as somebody else, like, say, you had a fake witness or something like that. Not if you're trying to use disguise to influence him in some way. Windhorn is swayed by a candidate with ambition who wants to use their demigod gifts to achieve world-changing goals. He does not see hiding one's true intentions as unlawful, as long as the intentions themselves are lawful. He prefers a candidate who is lawful evil and who will represent the domains of law, tyranny, or death undead.
Awesome.
So I think that's 2 people that have disguise, right?
Yeah, Ansel and Windhorn.
Okay. I mean, I have a +7 to disguise, so that's not a bad option for a roll.
Pretty good, yeah.
The prosecution calls Madame Ogavia.
No!
I did her so dirty.
what's she gonna say?
Seriously, yeah.
These
right.
motherfuckers burned down my house.
She sweeps in a beautiful peacock feather adorned gown,
Of course she does.
her head tilted up
does.
high. She does look a little bit weary, some bags under her eyes. Jungle living hasn't been the best.
Oh my God, that's right.
She forgot we sentenced her to the jungle.
Sends her to the humid and hot
Oh
jungle.
man, so fucking funny.
Ogavia takes a seat and says, I first became aware of Astrablep when the ministry was using the cover of war in New Haven to kill Councilman Gamware. The god killing can be so stressful, you know, so I popped over to a little bookshop that I love in the area called Skeptic's Haven, and that's when I first laid eyes on Train Your Brain Gremlins, and I saw the potential immediately. It just needed a little Ogavia flair, you know what I mean? And so I sent the gift basket over to Astra straight away as a thank you, because of course, at that time I didn't know Astra had also plagiarized it. And at this point, B will submit all 3 versions of Gremlins as evidence, both Ogavia and Astra's, and then also Puzzles by Raj Quiltwist. And Ogavia continues. She says, and wouldn't you know, despite committing the exact same crime as I did, who shows up at my mansion next loop? But Astrablep, out for revenge. And she burned down my mansion. She ran off with my implements. And worst of all, she used that rapier she carries to steal my shadow. I've never seen anything quite like it. And ever since, I've been unable to use magic.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not mad. I've been through too many loops to be mad at some temporary inconvenience. And she's once again introduced me to something that I think will come into its full potential when I get my hands on it.
Oh, she's going to steal my rapier. I fucking knew it. I knew it.
As for this loop, though, I say give her the demigod powers. Let her and Patty Hertz get beheaded by the ministry together. I think that they'd like that.
Wow. What a bitch.
Wow.
Fiery.
I don't care that I'm losing my chess pieces. I've got a plan.
Get her ass.
So this is the lady who wrote that expose, huh?
28 for B's profession barrister, mid-lane.
Oh, that teetle-toddled on that one.
Yeah, Ogavia is too much of a presence.
So what were her main arguments were that we both stole and that we set our house on fire.
It's two things. One, she is going back to the well of the rapier. She wants people to know that you have it. She also is continuing to set up your ability to manipulate printing. She's done that before with the map making. So she's interested in forgery, and I think you would be able to tell where she's ultimately heading with this is the journal, although she has not pulled the trigger yet.
Okay. I think I have a good counter argument for this that is going to hit some of the strengths and weaknesses we have.
Before Astra begins her cross-examination, Patty's going to motion to the bailiff and say, Bailiff, excuse me, please. Could you get some water for the witness? She appears very sweaty and unkempt up there. Thank you. I can just tell. I can see it from here how sweaty she is.
Yeah, she does not look well. Are we sure she should be sitting on the stand there?
She looks damp and uncomfortable.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, she looks like she shouldn't be wearing those colors because they are washing her out.
Maybe that's just it. She's just so sickly in that color.
What is this energy, you guys?
Ogavia, so glad you could manage to drag your sad, tired body out here to besmirch my reputation. You lost your magic, huh? And you lost your magic to me? Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you certainly had the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly took your magic. Do you know why, Ogavia? Because you didn't deserve it. You know who deserved it? I deserved it, Ogavia, so I took it. That's the rule of law. The strong win, and the weak shrivel away in the jungle.
Yeah.
You don't have your magic anymore because you didn't know how to use it well. Now I have it, and I'm going to use it to become the demigod of Ebnir. And there's nothing at all that you can do about it.
I feel like Windhorn's gonna love this.
Yeah, I am trying to work the domain of magic angle for some of these people.
Ogavia says, we'll see about that, Astra. The god killer, I think, begs to differ.
Okay, well, I'll take the god killer magic too. I'll just get a whole throne of cool magic swords that I've taken because I'm going to be so powerful, Ogavia. Honestly, this one feels like an intimidate too, but I don't have a ton.
I was just gonna say, I was like, can you roll hubris? Bragging.
Unfortunately, I don't have any points in that, so it could be bluff. Because to a certain extent, I do think Astra is bluffing about her competence in this vein. To the extent that she knows about it is a question. I think I'll roll bluff, because that'll get us Abraham at least.
Talking a great game.
Okay. Nice. All right. I have
Very
rolled
nice.
30 total on that.
Clean.
Crisp.
Crisp and clean.
Crisp
Oh,
and
yeah.
clean.
Cool. I think we should try to clear off more of Bashad.
26.
26, 15, 20, 20. 3 pieces of information.
So Justin for Bashad will do bias toward and then strength and weakness.
Seafarers, pirates, pillagers.
Bosuns?
Bashad will not be swayed by acts that only accidentally created evil results in the world. A willful evil intention must be present.
Damn.
Any skill check made to portray an action in this context takes a -4 penalty. Bashad values acts of selfishness and domination. She is looking for a non-good candidate and strongly prefers a human. She is looking for a candidate who will represent the domain of water or evil.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Selfishness and domination are Astra's strong suits. So.
As a selfish former bosun, I feel good about that.
The prosecution calls Papa Farrell.
Oh, Papa.
Okay.
What's he gonna say?
I don't know. It's nothing good, which is great for us.
Papa Farrell, pretty average looking middle-aged elf, a bit gloomy in nature, takes the stand. He says, when my children were young, I went into the Whispering Woods with some friends of mine from my academy days. They said that they had heard about a telepathic mushroom that was knowing huge amounts of gold and Mjolnir. My wife said it wasn't worth the risk, but I didn't listen. We lost our way almost immediately. I couldn't even tell you how deep into the woods we went or even how long we were in there. That was when I encountered the spiral rapier. And that was when I lost my shadow and my magic and my whole life. I didn't see that sword again for decades, but I thought about it every night. And then one day, I was being rescued from a house fire, and my supposed savior had it at her waist. The hero of Phenolin. I warned her friends to kill her, but they didn't listen. I'm limited as to what I can say as a warning to everyone in this court, but do not under any circumstances allow this woman to become a demigod. There is no separating that sword from its owner, even when the sword is wielded by someone else.
Another two masters gambit? Fine. It's a good argument. It's hard to fight.
And I'll roll for B here.
I think I've got something.
Oh, okay, great.
I want to try to use sense motive, and I want to try to get the bonus on Abraham. Since we used bluff last time, then we could use sense motive this time. And since I'm true neutral, I get a +4.
True neutral.
Not neutral good? Is that what you thought he'd be?
No, I think neutral makes sense.
You're like, actually, now that I reconsider it, that makes perfect sense.
Neutral evil, maybe? Not yet. I could tip anytime.
Same.
Which way's he gonna fall? It really depends on the day. Has he had his wine yet? Is the coffee strong enough?
Has he had his wine yet?
Mr. Farrell, Self says, sipping his wine.
No drinking in the courtroom.
This is my questioning wine. Sorry.
Yeah. So you're not closely connected to Miss Blepp. You don't know her very well in person, only by reputation.
I only met her when she saved me from when my house was caught on fire.
Yes, yes. If only she could save you from yourself. But let's set that aside. And that rapier she holds, that's really what opened your eyes. You claim that it attacked you somehow. You claim it has some mysterious owner, but you can't tell us anything about them. You can't tell us who this other person is that Astra serves other than Ebnir. You can't, and Castian can't say anything about them that's so interesting, really calls into question their very existence.
Yes, it's quite convenient for her.
But if she's only the holder, who is this master? Are they one of the 9 gods of Irisol?
You can see Papa Farrell just stewing, unable to say anything.
Are they a force greater than the 9 gods of Irisol?
Why don't you ask Astra?
She's not on the stand.
Savage.
I'm sorry, I would, but she's not on the stand right now. You are.
What sort of person is destined to cross paths with this sword?
You, if you continue to hang out with her.
For Astra to have become its wielder, what kind of person must she be? After all, you were immediately frightened, suspicious, angry of her as soon as you saw it. No, you have no thoughts to share. You have no way to defend any of your statements, just suspicions.
He can't say anything, unfortunately.
Really funny. Really funny.
You seem to be locked in a sort of contract of your own, which of course this court respects, but as it stands, as a cross-examiner, there's only so much you can do to build your case. Perhaps the kind of person to wield a sword like this is somebody who knows how to use power. And the power of a being that is, well, constrained by the laws of this world is not as great as the power of a being that created this world, one of its 9 masters. And that's the power that she is going to wield next. Becoming, perhaps halfway, a master of this world. And a master of whatever this hidden owner is. Consider that. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, Papa.
And I wanted to use sense motive for that, Justin.
Cool.
That's a 21, Justin.
Even though you were only 1 above your DC, she was under this time, so you can have 1 more attempt if you...
Very nice.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't make that one, so whoever's got some sense motive, give it a shot.
I'll do that one.
Yay.
Sense some motives.
Woohoo!
16.
Where are you headed?
If we do it against somebody we know, it'll be a 20,
We'll
right?
get more, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think Abraham and Neven?
Yeah, it might be good to clear off his 2 DCs. But I am so curious about all of his little flavor text.
I know, I like all the flavor, but I agree. I'm like, God, the checks are probably more useful, but
the flavor.
let's do the 2 other DCs for Abraham.
Okay.
Just get those on the board.
So Abraham's DC 15 and DC 25 are interlinked. They're diplomacy and intimidate, but like his 20s, they alternate between the brackets depending on which one was used last.
Oh, okay.
A lot of diplomacy on the board. Okay. Might be time to diplome.
Right. And previously, Inaj had used intimidate, so he's ripe for diploming.
Yeah.
The prosecution calls posthumous blep. Oh no!
Oh, she's going to say nice things
no.
about me, though. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's not what we want.
Yeah.
This has been really emotionally confusing for Astra.
I bet.
What kind of person am I? Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zelf is taking notes about everything everyone says
Okay,
about the
good.
spiral rapier and Astra's hidden master.
No. Okay, so I was also taking notes, but for helping me become a fucking demigod, Paul, could you focus a little bit on what we're doing here? I've been taking notes on the overall arguments that people are making
Nice.
to find some of the threads, because that feels like it's going to be useful for us to build our case.
Exactly. When I sit and look at all these, thinking about what witnesses we're going to call.
Mhm.
Right. I think all the threads you've identified are going to become the prosecution's closing statement. So I think that's on point.
And Zelf's just out here playing a different game.
Isn't he always?
Astra's sweet, sweet mom has never been in a place like this.
Oh
my.
She has never probably seen a demon, but she puts on a happy face as always, finds the positive. She says, Astra's always been creative, ever since she was little. Always come up with stories. She's got such an imagination. I've always said she would have done amazing things in Phainel Academy, but they just didn't believe in her. They never give the time of day to late bloomers. They only want wonder kids like Small Junior that they don't even have to teach anything. And as Post is talking, B will submit Astra's Phainel Academy rejection letter into evidence.
Not magical. Dang. Crushing.
Post will continue. The intensity of whatever happened in the Whispering Woods, I think it was the kick in the rump that she needed to master spellcasting. But after she got back from the woods, she became secretive, and it just seems like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. And I don't want to pry, or I don't want to be lied to, maybe, but
Wow.
it's weird to have these memories of years that didn't actually happen. Like, can I really hold it against her for sneaking away to Shadowend without telling me if it didn't actually happen anymore? I don't know. This is all very weird.
You guys can't be mean to my mom.
Yeah, let's intimidate her. That sounds great.
No.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, I mean, we were talking about diplomacy.
Yeah, this is a diplomacy moment. Astra's going to take the stage. She doesn't trust any of you people to talk nicely to her mom.
The three of us are looking at each other, and then Astra stands up.
Yeah.
So you're a drunk and a crazy person, right?
Okay. God, what is Astra even going to say to this, though? Good. B's had a run of bad rolls, which is great news for us.
True, but B has a great bonus, so
Yeah.
I would hire her.
Yeah, me too. She's good at her job. Hi, Mom. Thank you for coming out all this way. I hope your trip was safe or non-existent. I don't really know how this works.
You've been doing a great job. You let that Ogavia woman have it.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
She seemed so intimidated.
I learned it from watching you, like at the grocery store when somebody was rude to a cashier and you just really let it rip. Yeah. Boy, I hate to grill ya, Mom. It is funny that you bring in that letter, though, because, I was rejected from Phainel, but I have magic,
It doesn't say anything about you.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't matter. that I didn't have magic and that I do now. I'm already whiffing the Kada.
Oh, man.
She can't help it. But you know what matters, Mom? What matters is that I wanted it. And I went out there and I stood up for myself. And I stood, I stood up for myself and I put my foot down and I said, I want magic, so I'm gonna get magic. And you know what? Here I am, a magic caster, a powerful user of spells. It's all because of what you taught me, Mom, which is that I should stand up for myself, that magic is important, and what's more important is believing in yourself. And she's gonna stop there because she can tell she's whiffing it, but she, like I am gonna hope the power of the dice are on her side. Oh, they're not. I rolled a 4, which is fair because I did a mediocre job. And that's a 15, 16, 17 total.
For the first time, you guys are not going to get a bonus this time, unfortunately.
Man, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
But your mom still hugs you and tells, "Oh, you did such a good job. You did. I was so impressed. You were very serious."
Very serious. Oh.
Don't tell the lawyers, but I'm really scared. So I'll talk to you later. Please get home safe.
B will stand and she'll say, "For our next witness, the prosecution will call Zelf the elf."
Oh,
Paul, you better not fuck me on this, Paul.
This is gonna be good. It's been a while since I've been a witness at a legal proceeding.
And Zelf, you are brought up to the witness stand. B begins to pace back and forth in front of you.
Godvold Zelf smooths out his smock and folds his hands behind his back.
Zelf, how did you first meet Astra Blep?
Astra Blep. Well, if my memory serves me correctly, the first time I saw or heard of Astra was at the gathering at Shadow End. I had been summoned to become a part of some squad for some pursuit, no real expectations of what it would be, and I happened to sit at her table.
What were your first impressions of Astra?
Well, Zelf thinks for a second about whether he had any impressions of Astra at all.
Wow. Wow.
He taps his lower lip, and he says, well, before this goes on too long, she seemed unrelated to food.
What a perspective.
Oh, my impression was that she was very jangly. I remember her outfit was a bit distracting.
He did remember you.
You must have gotten to know her fairly well over the 2 months that you were together at Shadowwind and then in this current loop as well.
Oh, sure, I've never met anyone as aggressively dedicated to keeping people from knowing her as her, but I made observations.
In these observations, would you describe Astra as somebody who respects rules?
I see Astra as somebody who makes her own rules that she respects very much.
Wow, come on, man. Trying to get for a lawful gig here.
No.
During your time together, did you ever witness Astra knowingly breaking the law?
Knowingly breaking the law.
Zelf, if you don't know the answer, just pretend to choke. Recess! I think we need a brief recess.
Whose law? The law of the land? The law of the city?
define law.
There it is. Good.
I think here in the Headwaters, we respect all laws equally.
Oh, have I ever seen Astra break the law and all laws are equal? I'm afraid the answer is yes.
Choke, Zelf, choke.
Did Astra ever talk to you about her family or her life growing up in Fainalin?
No.
Is it true that your work with Shadowwind eventually led you to Fainalin?
Oh, yes.
While you were there, did you try to learn more about Astra?
Yes.
Is it true that while you were in Fainalin that your squad would eventually directly oppose Ebnir worshippers who were working under High Mage Windhorn?
Yes.
And Astra was included in these efforts opposing them.
Circumstantially. She was present while the rest of the squad was opposing them, but during, she tried to encourage me to stop opposing them.
Dum, dum, dum.
In fact, it's hard to say for sure whether any of her efforts were actually in support of our goal of stopping Ebner. It was all very circumstantial.
Is it true, Zelf, that shortly after Windhorn's takeover of Phenolin, that you and Castian and Smallblep Jr. formed a sort of alliance against Astra?
Well, I'd say that's true enough, yes.
What prompted you to do this?
No reason.
Well, B, it's a bit of a tangled web. In a situation where I didn't know who to trust. Astra was certainly on that list. So was Castian. So was Small. The Anti-Astra alliance, well, it wasn't specifically against Astra. It was a little bit of maneuvering, having gotten to a position where I was working both with and against the ministry. It didn't seem like it would do me any harm to both work with and against Castian and Small. But the question of why Astra was cloaking herself in mystery the entire time, even when that mystery was working against our efforts as a team, that did interest me, did concern me a bit. So if Small and Castian could shine some light on that, I thought it would help things. And anyway, Astra had been acting even flakier than usual. Later turned out to be vampirism. But at the time, who knew?
Oh, boy, that sounds evil. What? Who said that?
When you confronted Astra as a vampire and she bit your meatloaf golem, attacked it, do you believe that this was a result of the vampiric affliction, or do you think an unaffected Astra would have responded the same way?
If you had ever heard her talk about pasta, I think the fact that it was a meatloaf golem is secondary. Listen, we were bound to fight someday. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. The fact that she was under vampiric influence, I think maybe evened her out in some ways. At the time, I would have said that most of my relationships were potentially friendly, but mostly antagonistic. You know how it is when you're a chef.
You know.
Yeah, classic chef stuff.
So I can't say for sure.
And I say, after taking over the gourmet village, one of the edicts you introduced was to never trust a blep. Why do you feel that this was important to send to your future self?
Oh. I'll tell you something interesting that I've noticed about Astra. It seems like she always moves like clockwork to get involved with some kind of dark scheme. I don't know if that's subconscious. I don't know if that's subliminal or if it's intentional and it just comes out in small ways. But whether she's getting involved with organized crime, the power of evil, fey trickery, I don't know. It's almost like she has a susceptibility to evil influences.
How dare you use my character traits against me in this way?
How dare you speak accurately about me?
So when I wrote that into my journal, I felt it would behoove me to keep my eye on that as my future self in loops.
Susceptibility to evil. It sounds quite chaotic to me personally. Is it true that when your squad was gathered at the start of this loop that you were not included?
Well, I was the last one to be given their memories.
Why was that?
Oh, you know, somebody mentioned that my name had been taken out of the journal. So it was only after they regained their memories of me that they realized they wanted to come and find me.
Zelf, you're a Mjolnir chef, correct?
Yes, born and bred.
And would you agree that your training as a Mjolnir chef has honed your investigative skills?
Well, yes, of course. My investigative skills are as highly trained as my palate.
You were the one who deduced the true identities of Tin Face and Paltra Mimosa during your time in Mjolnir, right?
I'll say yes. It was a group effort for Paltra, but I got to, do the reveal scene. That was quite fun.
You were also able to identify and repair parts of Bavel Flaskforge's journal, which had been tampered with.
Well, that's true, with Astra's help. Devising an alchemical solution to some of the reagents that had written over his writing.
But you didn't discover the changes that Bavel Flaskforge testified to, that someone had added Astra Blep to your squad, nor did you discover the changes that removed your own name, correct?
No, at the time it didn't seem important.
Would it be fair to say that whoever was responsible for those edits must have been far more professional than the ones who did the others that you had discovered?
Certainly whatever method they used wasn't obvious without deep and focused investigation, which I did not perform.
Have you thought much about who could have removed your name from the journal?
Oh, many nights I've wondered, was it an enemy? Was it a friend? Was it circumstantial? Did I do it in some way through some means that I wouldn't discover it for a reason that will become obvious later? I don't know.
Wow, he probably removed his own name. That's a great idea.
But it could have been anything. Without clues, it could have been a comment I made to Manny about, I need to make a name for myself. And then maybe he removed it thinking it's what I wanted him to do. He's always doing that.
Oh.
Have you ever considered that Astra could have been the one who did it?
Oh.
Oh, of course.
Objection!
You can't make a list that includes everyone you've interacted with without one of those people being on the list. And if I think about possible motive, a few things do stand out.
Like what?
Sometimes I get a little earworm, and it sounds like somebody telling me that we could start over without all of this investigation. That's something Astra said when she said that we should restart the loops, right in Finland. But of course, by itself, that means nothing.
I mean, I wasn't even in the top 2 of when he listed like people he thought it was. Like, it wasn't even, I was even at the top, you know.
Way
So
down,
it's
way
like,
down the list. Way down.
Manny. It was definitely Manny.
Yeah. That guy's really suspicious, this loop, so.
My last question for you, Zelf. During the time that you were living and working with Astra, did you ever notice a strange creature following her? Maybe only for a second or out of the corner of your eye?
Oh, of course. First, I thought she had a cat. I asked everyone else if they had a cat, and they said no.
Thank you, Zelf. No further questions. And I'm going to roll her lawyer check and pass it to you guys.
Yeah, Justin's been rolling like 4 and like 3 for B, but this is going to be the 20.
It's not great. I only rolled a 25. For her, that's not good.
Okay. But I mean, it's good news for us, Justin.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great news.
I'm okay to cross-examine Zelf. In fact, it feels like the most obvious
I would
choice.
love that. I would love that so much.
It feels right. It feels in some ways like the culmination.
That has been years in the making.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Burnt Cookbook Party, and a special thank you to our Patreon subscribers who are supporting independent media in the most direct and sustainable way possible. If you're already a subscriber, be sure to check out the Patreon for a post with art and information about the jury. It'll help you play along with our attempts to uncover all of the information we can, and give you all of that good lore about the Sheep Lich that I assuming you all want as much as we did. We've also got a listener survey up right now. It's very short. We're just trying to learn how listeners find our show so that we can find more listeners. There's a link to that in the show notes, or you can find it on our socials, which are Blue Sky at BCB Party or Tumblr at BCB Party. Or if you want us to send you a link, I guess you can email us first at burntcookbookparty@gmail.com. And it's unrelated to the survey, but you can also find our DFTBA merch store at bit.ly/Jenna merch, all lowercase. Burnt Cookbook Party is Andrew Hansen as Johnny Anaj, Caitlin Stayduhar as Patty Hertz, Paul Luetkemeyer as Zelf, me, Jenna Stoeber as Astra Blep, and Justin Green as GM and World Builder. This episode was edited for content by Justin Green and edited for sound by Akshay Balakrishnan, produced by me, Jenna Stoeber.